Hey, happy Monday, everybody. Hope you got your cup of coffee. As always, it's kind of an experienced agent talking with somebody at the back of the office has always been the idea behind Coffee with Chris. It was supposed to be very personal and talk about the issues that are sort of at hand, stuff we're dealing with every day. I think the biggest challenge I'm experiencing right now is my wife is circling with a pair of scissors. She wants to give me a haircut. And I have done everything I can to defend myself. So next week, if I come back with a really strange sort of Jim Carrey haircut, you'll know where it came from. Tina got the scissors out. So I'm really thinking this is a tremendous opportunity for me to grow a ponytail or a man bun, but I don't know if she's going to let me away with that. So I know that very unusual times for us in the real estate business. And every week when we get together, I always like to give you actionable items. Taking the virus out of the conversation altogether, I think it's important to kind of, have really tangible tactical strategies that you're working on every day that's making your business better. And that's really sort of, always think of myself as a block and tackle coach. I don't really do that 30, 40,000 foot stuff, where we talk about, esoterical items. More so, I'm like, these are the actionable items you got to do every day to be successful in real estate. Over the last few weeks, I've kind of gone back, given the virus situation, I've kind of gone back and thought of what are really practical ideas about staying healthy. You can't write the kind of business you want to write unless you're in good physical shape. So there's reasons for that. We also can't deal with a lot of the rejection and challenges and stuff that's going on in regular everyday business if our attitude isn't right. So our emotional health is really important. And our emotional health has so much to do with just connecting with clients every day. But I think right now, under the circumstances, it's even more so our emotional health, because it's very easy for us to get off the rails, head down the wrong direction. So we have to constantly do things to remind us, to stay on the right side of the balance sheet and try to stay positive. So I think these are all important. I also have been giving you ideas on things to keep you motivated and keep you productive. What could you do during this time? One of the challenges I think that we keep running into is that the information keeps changing and the forecasted finish line keeps moving. I mean, if you knew that after 2 weeks we were going to be back to work, or after a month we were going to be back to work the way we were, and as each day passes, they come up with a different strategy or a different process. And I think we have enough uncertainty in real estate as it is on any good day, let alone add this into the equation, and you can understand how it's making real estate agents mental right now in terms of circumstances. So I want to talk to you about some strategy stuff today. I got some really good takeaways for you. One of the things I think we've been running into is every supplier, like myself, every major real estate company, like the ones you work for, are all running to the marketplace to continue to add value to maintain our relationships. You're doing the same. Your companies that work for you are doing the same. All of the suppliers are doing the same. Everybody's reaching out and wanting to stay connected with their clients, and that's good. The challenge with that is, from your perspective as a real estate professional, you're getting inundated every day with webinars. Everybody's got a webinar on something. It doesn't matter if it's a supplier, like a marketing company you've been working with, a social media company, an online leads generation company, CRM company. It could be your local real estate board. They've gone together and put some webinars on, which are, then you've got your state or provincial association. Then you've got the National Association of Realtors, and you got Korea, and then you've got your companies and your company's education departments. It's like we are being bombarded with information, and that can be a little overwhelming. The next thing is that you are sensitive, your senses are heightened, you're trying to really kind of get a grasp on what's in front of you. That makes good sense. Good business people dive in, get as much information to help them with their strategy moving forward. So that's, typical, really good business approach. But the challenge is when you go to research what we're dealing with and you're reading articles in Inman or REM or Real Estate Magazine. Often there are people who are writing articles but claim to be experts. One of the things I've got into the habit of doing now is clicking on the author's name in any one of the articles that I'm reading. I want the backstory on the author. I mean, is this person really a voice that you should be listening to, or is this somebody that's just making up crap and contributing to the environment? Let me give you an example. I was reading an article a little while ago without kind of calling out the publication, and there was a so-called expert in the article about the things you should do as a real estate professional. I thought, okay, so I went through the article. Seemed a little lame, to be honest, but I thought, let's find out a little bit about the author. I clicked on the name, followed some social media stuff. Turns out he's not a real estate agent. Turns out he's never run a real estate office. Turns out he's never been a broker. Turns out he's never sold a home to people. What was he? He was a financial planner. And here's a financial planner holding himself out to be an expert, giving you advice in the real estate business on how you should go out and create your real estate practice. And I thought to myself, maybe you should stick to the financial business and maybe leave the real estate business to the real estate people. So I just think it's important. Who are these so-called experts, and whose advice are you taking? The other thing I would caution you about, and if you're on social media right now, every sort of crazy scheme type company is coming out in the marketplace, and they're bombarding us. You know, get the 7 secrets to a successful 7-figure real estate income. And there's some guy and a woman on some little boat in the bay in Miami saying, look at me, I'm rich, you can be too, if you knew what I knew. So, you know, I look at all of this stuff, and it's like this marketplace draws out the worst, and all of these people sort of come to the surface, and they are pining for an opportunity to take money from you. So from your perspective, I just want you to be very thoughtful, you know, who you listen to, what strategies you apply, in terms of what experts, where are you getting your information. So do a little back research on the people. The other thing I would go on to say is be careful not to become fixated with the news. Again, it's hard. And I do think you need to be informed. You've heard me say that. Very important to be informed. I think it's important in the morning. What I've done is, from a habit perspective, I get up, I read the New York Times and the National Post every morning just to get a sense of what's going on. Then I put it away. I don't go to CNN. I don't go to Fox. I don't go to NBC all day long. I don't turn the television on. I get on with the rest of my day. And then what I like to do at either 6 o'clock or 10 o'clock is I like to put the news on for the day, just to find out what's taken place over the last few hours. Again, I'm not becoming fixated with this. I just want to be informed. I just want to be informed. And again, every time I turn on the news, somebody now has a new suggestion or a direction, and it's kind of like, often the people who seem to be in charge seem to be bumbling through stuff. The one challenge we are having as an industry, it's like a fire hose of information, and we're getting overwhelmed. Too much advice, and it's getting difficult for you to sift through all of the advice that you're getting and find out what's really relevant, what's really important, what's really required here. And when you get that inundated with information, it's normal for us to just say, oh, the hell with it, and pull the covers over our head, turn off the lights, and call it a day, and say, you know what, I'm gonna emerge when the virus is over. But that would be a mistake. So what we've done this weekend, Tina and I, and compliments to Tina, is we've sat down and we've created, what we want to do is calm the chaos. We want to give you an actionable list of items that you can use every day over the next number of months to work on your business, so that you are going to emerge from this situation stronger than when you went in, with a better positioned business. So Tina and I sat down yesterday and we went through a whole list of actionable items, and we're calling it the COVID-19 response productivity checklist. Tina always sends you every Monday a link to our webinar in case you didn't get a chance to watch it or you want to watch it again. She's going to include this list of actionable items with your link today. But for any reason, if you missed the email or you delete it by accident, it will also be stored. This link today will be stored in our productivity tools section of the Leaders Edge VT, which you have access to. That's our virtual training system, and I'm hoping that you're using that as a resource to constantly refine your skills during this period of time. So let's talk about what's in this actionable items list, things that you can be doing for the next number of months, things that will help really structure your business, create that focus, allow you the discipline, and allow you to work through strategies that are going to have a positive effect. So the first thing I want to talk to you about, and I've got 8 sections in this checklist. The first one I want to talk to you about is prospecting. And you're going to say, it's just so inappropriate to be out knocking on doors or doing open houses. And I agree with you 100%, no doubt about it. The hard part about the position we're in right now is that there's people buying houses. There are. It's just kind of difficult to publicly run around town and say, hey, look, I got buyers for a house. Do you want to sell yours? But to put it into context for you, and I know for a fact there are people on our video conference right now that sold a house this week. I was talking to the president of one of the largest real estate companies in the city of Atlanta, and she was telling me that on Friday alone, their company posted 50 new deals, opened 50 new deals. Now, she said, we're not running around broadcasting this to the world saying, hey, we're in business, doors are open. She's not doing that. But she wants her people to know that there are people that need to buy a house. There are people that need to sell a house. Some people are getting divorced. Some people are got a job transfer. There are all kinds of reasons why somebody has to do something. So what do we do in a case like that? Well, I think it's important that you get that business lined up. Let's not lose sight of the fact that interest rates, well, first of all, coming into this business, this virus situation, the market was really hot. And we were undersupplied, substantially undersupplied in most markets. Interest rates were low. The economy was firing on all 8 cylinders. Even if the economy right now isn't firing on all 8 cylinders, it's still firing on 4 or 6. That means there's business out there. Now, a couple of things I'm going to suggest is that you have to be delicate about how you proceed. And of course, there are all kinds of protocols, things that you're going to have to do to make sure that you stay compliant with all of the best practices under these circumstances, but you can still sell houses. And somebody's still going to buy a house. Now, the other thing I would say is mind your own business. One of the things I have found, particularly in the Toronto market, that I have seen is when an agent gets a new listing and they put it on the MLS, some of the other agents in the board are publicly shaming that agent on social media for doing business. Listen, I don't know what the backstory is on any given listing, and I don't know what an agent does or doesn't do. What I do know, it's none of my business. What I do know is my business, and I'm going to look after my business, and I recommend you do the same. I'm not advocating for breaking the compliance rules, but I am saying to you that whatever the situation, you should leave that up to the other agent. Public shaming people is not a good suggestion in my mind. And if you don't like what they're doing, just don't do it. Just mind your own business, do your own business. And but I do want you to know that it's important that you be thoughtful about opportunities. And yes, we have to be delicate. I get that. But prospecting today will turn prospects into your clients tomorrow. And I've given you a list of actionable items, things that you could do during this period of time on the list that we're sending you that would be delicate and elegant, but still allow you to uncover an immediate opportunity. The people that you will be helping right now with buying or selling a house will turn into your closings in the next few months. So it's difficult right now. We can't do a lot of the traditional stuff like knocking on doors or holding open houses, but there are things we can do to elegantly uncover those opportunities. The second thing I want you to do, and we're going to take a look at this categorically on the items we've given you, is to keep your marketing going. Now you have to think about what your marketing is going to be during this period of time. The marketing needs to be timely. It needs to be sensitive to market conditions. But if you drop out of sight, you drop out of mind. And if you drop out of mind, it's really hard to get back to the top of somebody's awareness level if you've gone away for a couple of months. So I would really, if you want to really reap the benefits when the market opens up, you've got to kind of keep some sort of marketing strategy in place to stay connected with the people who are prospects, with the idea of potentially converting them to clients. And then for prospecting and marketing to be really effective, the other area we're going to talk to you about in your checklist of items is making sure your CRM system is really well organized. It's the backbone of your sales desk, and it will automate your contacts with your prospects, people who maybe are not ready to do something right now because of the virus, but they're going to later on. Your CRM system can support you in those relationships and staying connected. And of course, we have, it will continue to send out your marketing pieces into your farm, that sort of stuff. But the idea behind it is that maybe somebody who hadn't been thinking about real estate, if you plant those seeds now, later on in the year, when the virus is, we're open for business, you're going to find that those clients, potential clients, are going to turn into prospects, which will turn into customers. So let's keep our CRM system up. Tools. Now, all of you have more tools and resources from a company perspective than you've had time to investigate. One of the things that's going to separate us when we're on listing appointments coming up is going to be your ability to elevate yourself above the competition. Now, a lot of the companies have the same tools and resources. Their agents are just not skilled at delivering them, so they don't bother. This is your opportunity to really peel back the layers of the onion so that when you're on a listing appointment with a seller, you're going to be able to demonstrate what you do, what makes you so great, why your company is so great. So your conversion rates will go up. And remember, this is all part of it. You look at the process. You want to convert those prospects to customers. You want to convert our clients. You want to convert those clients to commission checks. This is your time to separate yourself. I'm going to say that we're going to see a lot of the discount and limited service brokers starting to drop off. So if you're going to move forward in the next market, it's going to have a lot to do with the value you bring to your relationships. So understand the company tools clearly, not just understand them now, intimately understand how they work so you can clearly communicate that value to your potential opportunities, and have and there's lots of tools that you haven't explored that the company has that it's time for you to take a look at. The fifth area in our checklist of items to really tune up on is going to be your technology. One of the things I've absolutely enjoyed about this virus is it's forced us all to learn more about the technologies that we have and how to use them more effectively. As an instructor, one of the great challenges I have is the Leaders Program, the 6-week Leaders Program that you've done has layers now of technology built into the program. And often Tina and I have a difficult time in class establishing our baselines so we can move forward, because often people's technology skills are lacking. But this time right now, and you know who you are, if your skill set is lacking in this area, this is your opportunity to really get into your technology and start to have a better understanding of it. What I'm looking forward to is the next time I get to teach a live class, I'd like to think everybody in my class is going to be that much better because they've used this time wisely in terms of their technology. The sixth item is going to be organizing your office. What I know about our really busy agents that are on the video conference with us today is that typically when you're writing deals and taking listings and dealing with amendments, waivers, extensions, financing and appraisals and home inspections, there is so little time to organize the back end of the office. I've often gone into top producers' offices, their back end environment, and I'm like, oh my God, this place looks like a bomb went off. And that's because they're really busy. But let me ask you this. If you had a choice to be really busy and a hot mess, or to be really organized and broke, which one would you choose? I'll take that real busy hot mess. But here's the thing. I know that people who vibrate at that level all have ambition, all have an appetite, and all are thirsty to go to that next level. To get to the next level, you really got to organize the back end of the operation. So make sure you use this time right now. If that's going to be one of your weak spots, let's get that office organized so this thing really rocks at a level that just blows the competition out of the water. The seventh item I have for you that I want you to consider is I want you to take a look at your education. Education opens more doors. It's going to create a when a person is well educated on a topic, when you sit with a client, you help a client buy into your level of expertise because they really get a sense that you understand what you're talking about. And you got to remember, buying or selling a house is a big decision. So that I as a consumer, want to make sure I'm working with somebody who really knows what they're doing. For instance, one of the things I'm doing this afternoon is I will be doing all my CE credits to keep my broker's license up. So I'm using this time again to continue my education, but there's lots of things you can do in this space right now. And there's lots of designations you could look at getting right now that would only add to the value that your customers will have. They will only give you more insight, raise your confidence, reduce your insecurity, raise your stock value. There's lots of things we can do right now to be exceptional at for the opportunity that's coming. And then the next one is the 8th one on my list is your finances. Now, hot real estate markets like the one we were in, we all make mistakes in business. We buy a wrong product, a service. But when you're in a hot real estate market, the solution to the problem is, you know what, that strategy didn't work. I'm a little disappointed. I wasted some money, but that's okay. I'll make up for it. I'll just go out and sell another house. Well, right now, that may not be as easily or readily available to us to just go out and sell another house. So what I've come to learn in a slower market, cost containment and cost management are a really important part of making sure you're going to be here for the next real estate market. For me, I've always said you teach what you needed the most. And for me, the finance side of it was so important. You've heard me tell you that I went through a really bad recession in 1990, and I did not want to repeat that exercise. So I'm very thoughtful about cost containment and expenses. And that's going to give you the resources necessary to get to the next great real estate market. So managing your finances right now, really, really important. So these are some of the items that we've given. Now we've developed this checklist. You're going to get it today. It is absolutely spectacular. It has over 60 items, tactical actions, strategies that you can apply in all of these categories. The strategies are designed to fill your pipeline up with potential new opportunities when people are ready. It's going to constantly stay after you to update your systems to make sure that you are current and timely and on top of stuff. It's going to give you this opportunity, and the tactical stuff on our list is going to help you identify with the items that you need to do to hone your skills to be exceptional. Managing your finances and organizing your office. When the market opens up fully and we're back to business, you will rule the recovery. So my tagline right now is rule the recovery, spend the time wisely, invest it in yourself right now so that when the recovery comes, you're going to just knock it out of the park. I don't want you to hit the pause button right now and waste this time, because when the market opens up, you'll be playing catch up. And your competition and competitors will have an advantage because they use the time wisely to make sure their business was going to be better than it was before. Success is a choice. This is your choice. Some tasks we don't like doing, we don't enjoy, so they just don't get done. They get pushed to the back burner. If you're like me, you're probably more motivated by activities that have a reward, meaning, I do something, I see my reward. I'm a sales guy. I like instant gratification. I get that. So it's hard for me to find the patience to sit down and do the things that I need to do to build in the back end. I get it. I have to do this and I have to force myself through it. Most agents who have busy practices, their offices are unorganized. So we really need to take this time. We need to discipline ourselves and complete the checklist of long-term items. Now I have a bunch of my one-on-one coaches on our video conference today, and I want them to know they too should take the actionable items and use that as a bit of a cheat sheet with their one-on-one people to make sure that they're doing stuff. So there's really good quality. We put together over 60 items. So here's your homework for the week, guys. Review the checklist that Tina's going to be sending you. Commit to completing 1 to 2 tasks every day so that I don't expect you to work 12 hours a day right now. There will be time for that coming up when the market opens up. But let's put in a good 6 or 8 every day and organizing our business and feeling that we're making a contribution to the structure and to be able to capitalize on the future marketplace. Your priorities on your list will depend on where you are. So the list isn't, say, a 1 to 100 and you have to do it that way. Take a look at all the items, and there are little check boxes. that you can go through, and then you can prioritize it in that way. If you need us, Tina and I are here for you. Obviously, we can't leave the house, so if you want to talk, call me. I hope you guys are great. Have a fabulous week.